Hello, everyone, and welcome to another EU Happy Hour on Manapot Studios. I am your host and GM this evening, Krifu Bernal. My pronouns are he, him, and I've got a lovely beer in my adventurer's mug today that I will be sipping from during the happy hour. But before we get any further into it, let's go ahead and meet our lovely patrons this evening. Starting with Phasa.
Well, it's you there. Hi, I'm Phasa. Nice to meet all of you. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be drinking from this nice bottle of mineral water. Yummy. Yummy. Plastic is bad, but I forgot to get my reusable one. Woo!
And who are you playing today?
Oh, right. That's also a thing I'm here for. I'm playing Chatara Soren, a Kalashtan knowledge cleric. Pronouns also she, her.
And can you give us just like a little blurb about her?
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me do this
No.
Cool. Play Chatara Soren, knowledge cleric. She's a 20-something young cleric in the city. Maybe, I don't know where we are. Her main shtick is that she loves a good gossip, a good gab. And nothing gets her motor running more than a nice scandal or something that could potentially ruin someone's reputation. She's a good person, mostly. It's just, just a one little treat. Just a one little treat, She gets her magical powers from sharing all these fun magical secrets with the spirits of the world. Because no one loves a good secret more than Fae and spirits. So it's like every tea session that's when she gets her spell slots. She gets her spell slots when she gives them like, hey, have you heard this happened? Ooh, yeah? Damn.
Awesome.
So that's mostly why she's going around with this crew of misfits, The more people she meets, the more shit she has to talk. Boom.
Super. Then let's move on over to Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna. My pronouns are they, them. And I will be playing Sephodia Deerwood. Yeah, I said that right. For a second, I was really confused with my own voice. Her pronouns are she, they, and she is a tiefling genie warlock. And something about them is that they like to travel, they like to gamble, and their motto is that the best plan is improvisation.
That is a great plan.
Exactly.
Moving on down, back again, the Never Squid.
Hi everybody, I'm Never Squid. You can call me Nev. I'm your friendly neighborhood squid person who is not related to Cthulhu, I promise. I am a VTuber, artist, TTRPG performer, and horror enthusiast. And today I will be playing Professor Hazel Lenhart, who is gentle and kind, and she is a divination wizard. Both my and her pronouns are she, they, and she just loves a good cup of tea and a good puzzle to solve.
Well, I hope we'll have a good puzzle tonight. And last of our cast, Nathan.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades, tabletop RPG designer, streamer, voice actor, and general internet ne'er-do-well. My pronouns are he, they, and I will be playing Highbury, a warforged, or just more appropriately for the setting, a butler robot that is specifically built to aid in the investigation of supernatural mysteries. After all, if we are going to have a group of people who are exploring around trying to discover the metaphysical goings-on of the location that we are in, there probably needs to be somebody to clean up the messes after they make them. For my happy hour drink, I have cheap Aldi wheat beer. Let's go.
Cheers, everyone.
I forgot to say my drink. In keeping with the theme of Professor Lenhart, I am drinking tea.
Excellent.
And I got a pineapple Fanta that is very hard to come by here, but I do love it.
Breaking into the rare stuff, a vintage.
Yeah, it's very hard to come by, but it's really good.
I used to drink pineapple
Cracked
soda
open the wine
non-stop.
cellar.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, we're back here with another EU Happy Hour. If you are a regular here, you already know the deal. We usually play rolling dice games with these games. So specifically with D20 games, when any of the players roll a natural 1, they all have to take a sip of a delicious drink or a bite of a tasty treat. And if they roll a natural 20, then I have to do the same. Whenever someone on screen, because of a die roll, has to eat or drink something, chat, you are encouraged to participate along with. Warning, if you are using, or if you're choosing to use an alcoholic beverage this evening to participate, then also please make sure that you separate every other drink with some water just to stay hydrated, because...
Otherwise, please do bust out the good stuff. That absinthe you've been keeping in your kitchen closet, now is the time.
Now is the time, and especially if you have absinthe, you should try and share that with me. Anyways, we are here with a fantastic mystery, hopefully. So, what I want to ask first to our group is, how do we get from place to place?
Now, we've had a previous discussion, or at least in the previous timeline of this session, it was set to be in the modern day, and we kind of established that there was a phasmophobia, or more accurately, Scooby-Doo-esque van that everybody traveled in.
Okay.
Is that still going to be the case for this run?
Yes. Yeah.
Marvelous.
Do we have art on the side of the van, or is it just like a creepy plain white van with no windows?
Oh,
like
no,
the-
no, it's a what creepy white man.
Hey, gotta be set the two extremes. Is it funky?
Shall
or
we
is it...
split down the middle and make it like a spray, like an air spray wizard art on the side of a van?
Yeah.
That kind of,
It's a white
an
van with a
airbrush
little bit of
wizard.
art. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or you know how you have those vans that like they don't get professional painting and you just put a sticker on the side? Those kind of things, you just put a sticker on the side with the information.
Logo.
Yeah, the logo, yeah.
And question, is this modern day or 70s modern day in which our inspiration might have been set?
Ooh.
Okay, that is an
Like
interesting
70s.
question.
If
my
it's
function-
70s, we get a fantastic flower power hippie van.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I will-
Okay.
Honestly say, kind of in for that, even if the professor might not be, but I am.
It sounds
Sure.
good.
No, let's go with that.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I am Googling 70s slang right now.
Perfect.
We're gonna see what's up.
Okay,
Oh,
so I
boy.
think we're in the van when we first start. It is the city. Some sort of generic 70s European style city. And driving over the cobblestone street leading to the city's Museum of History, we see this van. Who wants to describe it for us?
I can give it a go.
Mhm.
And everyone else can add if they want to. So you see this typically 70s van, you know, like it is. I would say it's perhaps white with like little. I think if I remember the edges of like yellow or something or green, something like that. And I imagine that the sides have been badly painted. Everyone joined in to paint this van, and like none of us are painters. It's
Very
and,
homemade.
yeah, clearly homemade.
And I take
Fine.
offense to that. I have proficiency with calligraphy tools. Thank you very
Oh.
much.
Okay,
There's only like
just...
one specific bit of the van that looks good.
yeah. I feel like it's a bit old, maybe. So like it's well loved. It's been around for quite some time. It still works. It still operates, and you know if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Really.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes if you are standing at a stoplight, like if you're standing, it rattles a little bit, makes a little bit of noise, and sometimes people look a bit like at the van, but like it drives fine, nothing's happened, it passed MOT. So yeah, I
Okay.
guess that's
Who is driving this vehicle?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
unless you wanted to.
I mean, as a professional butlering robot, I think it would be apt for Highbury
Yes.
to also act as a chauffeur in the instances that we are on the job.
Yes, I am the getaway driver if we need to go fast.
That tracks.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that we at least see the two of you in the front seats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so behind the wheel of this. Now we can't call it a mystery machine. That's just copyright, basically. Of this
Conundrum
Car?
vehicle.
conundrum car
Oh, yeah, there we go. Alliteration.
or vintage van.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we see Highbury. Highbury, when the camera like focuses on you, can you describe what the audience sees?
Yeah, I think we get a shot of the van pulling up outside in the Museum of History, and the camera kind of moves along the side of the van. We get a shot of the. I guess this is well painted, but not logoed up, so we don't necessarily get to introduce ourselves just yet on what the company's called. But you see in the driver's seat a robot. Not necessarily uncommon for the setting, but definitely an immediate sign of money. Maybe in stark contrast to how poor the quality of the van is. If they can afford a robot, they might be able to afford a nicer van, or maybe they're being undercover. That we are in a kind of like a brassy yellow-green kind of getup, quite tall, with a large kind of like a trapezoid or chest compartment space, with a black metal bow tie. The head of the of Highbury is very very geometric, kind of like a 1920s style avant-garde statue, with a very structurally coiffed wave in the hair, and a kind of like small screen where the mouth would be, and there is a waveform there when speaking.
I'm getting like a Metropolis vibe.
Oh gosh, very very Maria. If
Yeah.
Maria was also a
The
butler,
arch android. Got it.
crossed over with like Rosie the robot in the Jetsons, I guess. But yeah, upon kind of like parking at the destination, McSteward, I do believe we have arrived.
Oh.
I can see.
Then the camera goes over to Savodia, and who do we see there?
You see a tiefling, purple skin, red, vibrant hair that goes a bit like about my length, really, a bit more wavy. Purple horns that curl back. She wears a big sort of brown head with like a wide rim. Wears a white blouse with a green bluish waistcoat and black dress pants. It's kind of like sort of more 40s 50s, like she doesn't really the flower power thing wasn't their thing, but still kind of neat. And and about 5'8", so I think that's 172 centimeters tall. Very relaxed look about her.
Katara and Professor Lenhart, where are you in the van?
Sorry, just
I
before,
think, sorry, go ahead.
can I suggest a name for the van / the team?
Yes.
Mhm.
Like,
Some
go for it, go
assembly
for it.
required.
Sorry, what was that one?
Some assembly required.
Some
Mhm.
assembly required.
Either the van or the team. Just a suggestion. You don't have to take it.
Running it down.
I like it though.
Okay.
I think Sorry for going back to like the vignettes. I think where we see Tratara in the van, I think she's like truly in the back, and like very loudly talking to someone on her like speaking stone, like truly just being like, yeah, and I heard he cheated on his wife with his neighbor, just like talking about like fucking like the most scandalous, scalding hot tea you've ever had in like career ruining like truths is what you are hearing. And she's like
Miss
very
Sylvan.
loudly.
Ms. Sylvan, we've arrived.
What? No, what I'm saying is like he cheated on like they were like that kid's teacher.
Highbury
That's
honks
the
the
fucked up
horn.
thing about it. Damn. Oh, sorry. What? What could possibly so interrupt me?
The job.
Symphonia would probably like have a mage hand and take the stone from her. And then just like,
She's
"You're right."
heartbroken. She has a look of like, you've taken my main identity away from me.
She has it back. It's just, yeah.
And as you see this woman who's like clutching the sending stone with her life, we see like an early 20s something, plus size-ish black Kalashtal woman, who has very like prim and like proper like vibes mixed with like I'm going on an adventure. Like they're wearing like puffy-esque like overalls that go over like a light blue like not shirt. It's like a you know there's like puffy blouses, but imagine they had like short sleeves, and it like goes all the way up to the neck. And the overalls, they're quite short, so like she's her legs are covered by like these like thigh-high socks. So very much just like very like much like a mix of like imagine like what a rich kid imagines. I'm going off on my own. See the world. I'm roughing it. Like whatever like a rich kid would like imagine what that looks like. And she has like these like very like circular glasses and like a shaved head, maybe like a sign of like I want to change something about how I look. So very like drastic change. And she has like these eyes that truly are like this weird like cosmic purpley bluey dreamscape like quality to them.
Okay. And then in the back of the van, we have Professor Hazel Lenhart.
Yeah, so the professor is probably the oldest. She's a lady in her early 30s. She is human. And she is wearing a black tartan swing skirt and black Oxford heels with a black velvet top. Yes, she wears all black. And she's got hazel eyes and brown hair that is sort of neatly coiffed up into an Edwardian sort of updo. Think Gibson girl. She, on this way here, has been, because she has a whole tea station in the van. Like, there's a section of the van that is just tea and various accoutrements to make lovely tea. And on the way here, she has been doing a reading using the Divination Wizard's Portent, which means that at the beginning of the day, I roll 2 dice, and I get to save those results to spend later on in the day.
Okay.
On any dice roll.
First dice roll of the session.
So, she has almost finished a cup of Earl Grey, and she takes it in one hand and she spins it 3 times, then puts it upside down on the saucer, and then picks it up, and then you see her sort of looking at the patterns in the tea leaves for a 11 and a 12. Well, very average.
What is
Why
that?
do you need average?
What shows up in the tea leaves that say 11, 12?
Nothing disastrously bad because there's no natural one. Nothing fantastically great either. There is the, let's see, what are common, not me looking up panic symbols of how tea reading works.
There's a silhouette of a woman on a cliff. She's shrugging.
Ooh. Meh.
Let's see. There is an owl, which is a warning for starting a new venture.
Mhm.
So telling us that we should be careful. And there are some triangles. Unexpected good fortune for the 12.
Okay, thank you. This is good stuff. But the of the horn of the car, the van, disturbs you from your reading, and indeed, the four of you have arrived outside of the City Museum of History.
Now, Professor Lendhart, are you, just to check, I'm sure you're on top of things, but do you have the briefing for investigation today?
Oh yes. Give me just 1 second. I put it away. And she's just like behind a whole bunch of boxes of tea, because who would look behind a bunch of boxes of tea? There's a little sort of folder that's brown colored, and she just sort of delicately pulls it out. Here you are, Highbury.
Marvelous. Now, the job for today, and it starts to read through the missive that was sent by the financier of this investigation group, one Abel Islington, quote unquote, the great detective. I don't know whether you have a note handy as to the circumstances. Okay, we're improving that too. Fine.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like,
Isn't
yeah.
there an invitation?
There was something like that.
Let me see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay, we'll take that from the. I'll hit the slight rewind on that then. But yes, Highbury opens the manila envelope and pulls out this note, this missive from Abel Islington, the great detective, that says, L'Assemblage, you have been summoned to the Museum of History of the city. Capital T, capital C. It seems that this is maybe the only important city in the setting, so it doesn't need a special name. There has been reports from the main curator of the museum, Grant Carmona, that there has been a series of hauntings within the artifacts exhibit. Viewers of the various and sundry artifact works have come away calling of poltergeists and ominous noises, and after greater inspection from a different paranormal agency, there were 3 fatalities. Unfortunately, who lost their lives in this incident has been rendered top secret, but I do know that you are some of the detectives around. There was best, and it's been scribbled out. Please investigate with post-haste and report back to l'Assemblage with any reports that you find. Yours, Abel Islington.
Holy shit, I didn't know people fucking died. Good. I mean, bad. I mean, it's so sad. It's so sad what happened to these 3 mysterious victims. However, this does give the story a little bit of juice.
Mm-hmm.
Being completely frank. May I roll a history check? I want to know, like, the general, what rumors, what gossips has been happening that's circulating around the museum. May I?
Yes, a history check. Go for it.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Well,
I got 13.
I don't think
and I have
ghosts
a
are
plus
real.
6. So I have 19.
19.
19, baby.
I
She
think some of
knows things sometimes.
some of the main rumors you've been hearing, specifically, as people are talking about the hauntings in the artifacts exhibit, and you know that the City Museum of History has had a checkered past with illegally acquiring artifacts that do not belong to them and have dealt with. Yeah, what? A museum doing that? No.
What? Where'd you come up with this stuff, buddy? What?
Nowadays, in the last few decades or so, that has become very much a thing of the past. Whatever wrongfully acquired artifacts have been returned, and now we're in a better present than the past. But people who know, they talk about, what did they do this time? What artifact did they grab from where? And what curse have they brought upon the museum this time? Mostly the people who are saying that are of the older generation who were more active when that sort of stuff was happening more often at the museum. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about what you're hearing. I would ask you to come up with, can you tell me the name of a figure in the museum that has been the focus of the suspicion of the rumors you've been hearing?
Oh, you mean like a historical figure, or like someone who works in the
Someone
museum?
who works there. I'm starting a list. Suspects.
How about
I think.
let's
sorry.
let Shatara, since it was her role.
Thank you. I think it would have been someone called Daniel Snapsberg.
Snapsberg.
Daniel Snapsberg the third.
Daniel Snapsberg
They're a nepotism baby, and that's why everyone fucking hates.
the third. Are we going with they, them for them?
Sure. I think maybe he, they. I don't know.
He, they. And ancestry? Human?
I want to go high elf.
Ooh.
High elf.
Daniel
High elf
Snapsberg.
vibes.
Okay, high elf. Got it.
Squire.
Baby.
Cool. So Daniel,
Definitely.
one of the employees at the museum, people have been saying Daniel's always up to weird shit. They've got some, I don't know what they're doing. You know, the third. Who's the third anyway? But he's got to be a part. He's got to be wrapped up in all of this somehow.
Maybe some kind of shenanigans.
Are the rest of you doing any sort of pre-investigation work?
I would like to do some kind of history or arcana check to see what kind of stuff do they currently have at the museum, and given where the most of the rumors are, can I make some kind of guess as to which room or which artifacts might be relevant?
We know that it's in the artifacts exhibit, but there are many different sections of the artifacts exhibit for, knowing artifacts from various cultures or regions or practices, what have you.
We might be able to narrow that down.
Can I, since I think I'm probably the most likely person to know what's on display at the moment, can I make some kind of investigation or history check to see if I can make some general guess as to where we should start?
Yes, go for it.
Which
History
one?
or investigation, whatever you like.
Can I maybe aid in that? Because I have a thing that I can sort of
Do you
guess
need
the odds of what is the best plan. I don't know if I can again give her advantage.
For the help action.
Sure.
Do you need to know our passives, by the way?
No, I'll ask for it.
Okay.
So
Well,
Samodia is aiding in this.
Yeah, so
Investigation?
so I have a thing that says never tell me the odds, so I can sort of get a sense of what is likely the best sort of plan or chance, and the opportunities, which opportunity seems good. So I figure I could maybe sort of advise in that and give her advantage.
okay. I rolled a 16 plus 8. That's a 24.
Okay, and well, you're rolling with advantage, so
That
maybe-
was the advantage.
perfect. 24.
On investigation, to be clear.
Investigation. So, Professor Hazel Lenhart, you know that in the last 2 nights there was a fundraiser, and they were celebrating / getting ready to unveil a new artifact in the exhibit. Can you tell me what this mysterious artifact is and where it comes from?
Okay. I'm going to say that it's an artifact that they found in whatever this universe's version of Scotland is. Where they were digging out for a building, and then they found some old stuff down there. And they didn't reveal exactly what the items were, just that it came from an archaeological dig that seemed to come from an old castle that had gotten buried at some point.
Mysterious.
Well, they have to do the big reveal, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, who would come see the opening of the exhibit?
And then 3 people died, and that's what brings us here today.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that this castle was potentially is potentially related, may have been owned by someone related to the royal family of the city, and that's why it's of extreme import.
Mm-hmm.
It goes all the way down, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All the way down.
Okay. Highbury, are you doing anything to prepare for this investigation?
I think while others are preparing, Highbury quietly gets out of the van, moves around to the back and kind of opens up the back and gets inside and starts gathering their standard investigation equipment. I think it's a lot of things that you would see in like a Ghost Hunters live action TV show, but has been almost like 70s James Bondified into generic objects. So we have like a little black book that you open it up to a page and it kind of gives like spectrometer electromagnetic readings in a place. There is a forensics kit with like a dust with a fingerprint duster and luminol. There is torches for everybody, that kind of like set of basic investigation tools, and it just quietly just retrieves them all, puts them into a handy satchel and leaves it by the foot of Chitara and doesn't say anything.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm giving me this specifically, but
You look down and, oh yeah, you did already. You remembered to pack for this in advance. You knew you were on top of this today.
oh,
Uh-huh.
Joe, see this? Honestly, I'm always on autopilot. I just do things without even noticing.
Quite, Mom.
As you've arrived at dusk, as the museum is closing for the day, and a human, so security guard type person comes out, accompanied by a short male tabaxi figure wearing a vest, tweed vest, I think, with a cute little bow tie, and spectacles. Maybe they're like a brownish tabby. And his ears are very emotive. Hello, welcome. Am I correct in assuming that you are the group known as Some Assembly Required?
Yeah,
Yes,
that would be us.
Excellent. I am the museum curator. My name is Tim Yalthy, but you can just call me Tim. I've been told to allow you complete access to the museum overnight to search for this terrible spirit that has been haunting our poor patrons.
Right.
Yep.
I really like that this person has introduced themselves as the curator in the kind of like off-the-cuff spiel that I gave for the mission statement. I said that Grant Carmona was a curator, so I like that there is an inconsistency here. No, this is great. Since we're improving all of this, I would like to go and make a what is this? This is an insight check, maybe.
Go for it.
In terms of sure.
Good catch.
I have ear for deceit, which means I can't roll lower than an 8 for this.
Okay.
I roll a
Sweet.
16 plus my insight, making it 21.
21. Seeing, that Grant Carmona being let's say the chief curator, might not necessarily come out personally to meet you all. Might send one of like their less
subordinates.
Busy. I didn't want to say like, subordinates.
We don't know how nice of a person Grant Carmona
Wow.
is. We'll see.
You get the vibe that Tim Yalthy is here as like in a more assistant tour guide position, not very much in charge of things.
Highbury notes that Tim Yalthy introduced themselves as the curator and not the assistant curator, but does not say anything.
You'll also note that the security guard, a very broad-shouldered, buff half-orc woman, who's definitely like bursting from her suit a little bit.
Nice.
She like raises an eyebrow at Tim Yalthy as he's talking to you. Oh, yes. This is Larissa. She will be on hand tonight. If anything should go wrong, just call for her and she'll come running, right, Larissa? And she nods. Yeah. I'll be on hand to collect your bodies after everything's over.
I like you. I like this one.
I think Chitara's gonna like mind link with everyone. She has like a Kalashtar thing where she can just like talk directly into people's minds. So I think she's gonna be like, guys, she's hot. Let's focus. Let's focus, everybody. She might be the trust no one, even if they're hot or cute. Okay, so both of these guys on the suspect list. All right, let's focus up. Let's focus up, even if they're super hot and beefy. We gotta focus up.
I think this is a you problem, not an us problem.
Out loud, Highbury says, Ms. Silverin, you appear to be sweating. Would you like some water?
No, I think Chitara's gonna just like immediately like socialite switch it, pivot into like a way this looks good for her. She's like, no, of course not. I'm fine. I'm just so distressed because I heard about those poor 3 victims. And then she's gonna like grab Tim Yalthy's hands and be like, I promise, me and my compatriots are going to find the person who did this. However, if you happen to know anything, like the identities of the people who so tragically passed in this building, it could truly, make or break the case. And that's why I'm sweating. Yep.
Yes, of course. One of them was a member of Larissa's security team who was caught unawares by the Phantom. Another one was a fellow curator here at the museum who was busy studying some artifacts in the exhibit hall. And then the third was a investor of the museum, a member of the Patron Club. The Patron Club often gets access to after-hours events at the museum, which, by the way, I hope you won't be too bothered, but there is an after-hour event happening at the museum tonight in the lounge.
Really? There's been murders here, and you're still organizing events?
Yes, well, the board said that it was very important to continue on with the patron events because...
Of course, they're getting money! That's why it's important. That's always the case.
Well, without our patrons, I don't know how long the museum would be able to stay open.
Everyone stares at the camera.
And considering one of their own was killed, perhaps one of them might know something. So actually, it's quite convenient that they're here. Professor Linhart has a sort of box case with her, which they don't know, but the team knows, is just a portable tea set.
Mm-hmm.
So I will escort you in, and Larissa will take you to the artifacts hall, exhibit hall, where you can set up and begin your investigation. And he
Great.
Very
nods.
good.
He takes you inside. The museum is, it's built out of an old castle, so sort of on the outskirts of the city, along with the main river that runs through the city. So it's not too terribly easy to get to. There is a train stop, maybe like a 10-minute walk away. I forgot we were in modern times. So yeah, public transportation. And you're the opening is sort of this T-sectioned great hall with glass domed ceilings, and Timothy sort of nods and points. The lounge you can find that way in case you get bored this evening or need refreshments or anything. Your tab is on us. Just please don't go. You are on the job, so don't get too wild or anything.
Don't you worry.
I will be in my office this evening, just to be on hand in case you need to ask any further questions or something happens. And of course, Larissa will be right outside of the exhibit hall in case you need to fetch me or whatever.
I don't suppose you know whether Grant Carmona is also on site?
Oh, Mr. Carmona. Well, I don't think he's working this evening.
Understood. A silence hangs in the air.
So creepy.
Mhm.
So
Did you say there was like at the entrance there was like the foods and drinks and stuff like that in the sort of hall?
So the lounge is in like to the left of this main hallway. So
Right.
it's a little bit separate from the exhibits, but as
Right.
we move forward, I am going to throw out there are different sections of the artifacts exhibit hall that you can explore for clues. I will need your help in describing them. And then there's also the lounge where you can go and speak with some of the patrons, do a little of socializing,
Oh,
interviewing, what have you.
floating an idea in advance. Since this is a heroic fantasy setting and the way Dungeons and Dragons works, that there are schools of magic, maybe the sections of the artifacts exhibit is by school of magic.
I love that.
I like that.
Ooh.
That's cool.
In
That's-
which case, Professor Lenhart Hazel will beeline it to the divination section.
Savonia is going to the lounge. She wants to see what that is to drink.
All right, we're splitting the party.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
split
I
up,
mean, like,
gang.
I feel like
Let's split up.
I feel like she's I don't know how far it is, but I feel like she's just checking it out and then would come back to sort of figure out what everyone else is doing. And when she's like going have a look, what's there? If there's anything like alcoholic beverage, she'll grab it and take it back to the crew.
I think Shatara is fully gonna go to the lounge. I think maybe like her main role in the party is very much just like socialite, get info from the witnesses, like the people. She's a smooth talker, you know what I mean? She's a
Yeah. Savonia is saying
Yes,
she is
yeah.
very. Yeah, Savonia is also very good at socializing and stuff. Or maybe not socializing, but more like getting people to tell them things.
I think splitting in half is a pretty reasonable idea here. We're not in danger, and it's easier to cover more ground.
For
if we,
now.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
I
So
do want to quickly
I'm more
ask-
than happy
oh, sorry, go ahead.
to accompany the professor to the artifact exhibits, while you two go and chat in the lounge. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, Hazel is not a
Sounds
talker.
Which one do we
I
want to
do
do
want to
first?
quickly ask.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
No, go for it.
I would
When? Oh, sorry.
I would just like to
Sorry.
ask if the socialite group gets to go first because I need to step away for a couple.
Yeah,
minutes.
that's what I was thinking.
Totally cool. Before we start that, I just want to quickly ask, as the group that is going into the exhibit, would they be within 70 feet of me? Like, how big is this place?
Yes.
I don't know how much 70 feet is.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
There might be some
cool.
About
deeper
45
reaches
meters.
of this place that might be on the cusp
Yeah.
of that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, have some drama in there. but
I'm
yeah.
just asking because if you're within 70 feet of me, I can like
Telekinetic
mentally
message
link
works.
talk to you.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
like 10 times your level, so that's how many feet I can.
Well,
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So yes, Savodia and Chitara head off to the lounge to speak with some of the patrons that are participating in the after-hour event. So we head over there. The lounge there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of hardwood, maybe some red velvet drapery, carpets, some
Ooh.
big like chairs that people sit in by the fire. There's like pipe smoke happening. There's like murmuring of voices and the clinking of glasses. I feel like Chitara is probably right up in her element walking into this place. And Savodia,
She's never felt more at home.
and Savodia, when you see the whiskey tasting table, maybe that's catching your eye as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the first thing they go to. And is it like whiskey? Is it like little cups of like you can just try, or are there I guess like beer bottles as well, stuff like that? Just something. I think she's looking for something that she can take with as she's going.
You could probably go to the bar and get stuff like that. There's this one table that looks like it is a whiskey tasting event. So there's lots
Right.
of people standing over that table going, this tastes. I can taste the smoke and the, fruits,
yeah,
florals, and nuts of the,
Connoisseurs.
whatever.
Yeah, I think she would look at Chitara and be like, "I'm gonna go socialize over there. If you need me."
Okay, I think Char's gonna be like, "Oh, you're going there to socialize? Is that what you want to call it?"
I'm going there
You know
to
what?
socialize.
Sure you are, but just before you socialize, I hate to sound like Highbury. I hate it. Truly, bane of my existence. But you're gonna promise me you're gonna be acceptable levels of drunk.
Listen,
I don't want a
listen.
repeat of last time. I just don't want to repeat of last time with the
Listen,
booze cruise. It was a mess.
Last
It was
time,
truly a mess.
I don't know what they put in that drink, but that was, I'm sure they put something in the drink that makes you want to order more. I don't know what it was, but I'm a professional, okay? Don't you worry about this. I got it.
It's not because I'm trying to be a knot. It's because, and she's truly like covering like her compatriot from like the rest of the patrons in the bar, being like, this is a classy, upper class establishment, okay? We gotta, I mean, I don't want to say pretend to be we gotta be classy. Yeah, we gotta be classy, okay? One fuck up, and immediately they turn their noses at us, and it's for the sake of the team. You fuck up, I'm pretending I don't know you. I want you to, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I want you to know this ahead of time. You fuck up hard enough, we're not friends temporarily for the mission. Cool?
I find it adorable that you think you can hurt my feelings, but I got this.
Okay.
All right, just go over there and do your things. Get some gossip. Do what you usually do. I got this.
Okay, alright. And then Chitara's gonna fucking...
Yeah.
And I think she did this before the entrance of the lounge, so like truly it's like Chitara walks in and then like 2 minutes later that's when they walk out. So it's like they've entered as like two separate groups. And I think Chitara is going like like when you go to jail and it's like look for the biggest guy in the yard. She's like doing that for like the gossip, like she's looking for like who's the queen bee this soiree that she can chat out.
Okay, so we see your eyes land on her very quickly. Seated by the windows, so there are these great big windows that are like paned with arches on the top, arched windows, and in a big table. Let's call it like a conversation pit set into the ground. Large sofas and couches where maybe there's also like maybe a hookah set up and lots of martini glasses, cocktail glasses. Holding court basically is a Kenku woman. She has velvety black feathers, wearing like lots and lots of pearls, and I think also like a pearl like headband. Very flapper vibes, maybe like a red boa
Mother.
sequins or something. No, on her head she has that like a red headband with the feather sticking up.
Oh, nice.
I need a name for this flapper Kenku.
I got you. Let's go with an Ashley Anderson.
Ashley
Oh,
Anderson.
we love alliteration in this house. Very nice.
Yes, she is. You can tell already she's got the tea, and she's willing to spill it.
Very nice. I think Chatara is going to pick up like 2 very fancy looking like martinis. You know what I mean? Like, you know, freshly made, very nice. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't know what would make a martini nice, but
It depends on your preferences. I
Right.
like a lot of olive juice. in
whatever.
mine.
Fresh, whatever.
Mhm.
Chilled.
And I think she chilled. Oh, is she with like a group?
Yes, she's in a group. She's holding court.
Okay, cool. I think she's gonna pick up 2 martinis, and I think she's going to like strut towards the group, and then she's going to use like the telekinetic feat, which is basically just like an invisible mage hand to make like makes like a big show of it. She's going to like extend the martini so that it just kind of like floats towards her, and like the martini floats in such a way where it's like it passes the like eye line of every single person in her group until it reaches her, and then it lands delicately in front of her on a table.
He sort of, as it floats into the group, you can see like each person in the group sort of stop talking as they're watching it float. And we see her looking at it. She's mid-conversation, stops, holds up a claw, looks at it as it sits down, and then straight up from where it looks up at you. Ah, well, what a marvelous trick, darling. Please come sit with us.
Thank you. You don't know me, but it looks like you needed a drink. And then I think she's going to like make her way to like, I think maybe she's like not pushing somebody out of the way, but is very like confidently like, you know how like on a couch it has like the armrests. I think someone is sitting like close, like she's like on like a big like solo armchair, and then there's 2 like couches like on each side of her. Somebody is sitting on the couch next to her, and then like power move Chitara sits on like the armrest of that couch, so she's the one who's like closest to the Kenku.
Got it.
Well,
Well,
gonna do social warfare. Her frizz radio.
what is this, Vampire the Masquerade?
Yeah.
The
Hey.
well, my name is Ashley Anderson. Dame Ashley Anderson. That's why not. And who might you be?
Oh, little me. My name is Chatara Silverin. Friends call me Sil, don't call me Chat, it sounds weird. And I'm just here, looking around. I have some business to attend to.
I was going to say,
And it
you're
looks
not
like
one
you're
of
the
the
lady to talk to.
You're not one of the regular patrons of the museum, are you?
Oh, you caught me. No, I'm new. New to
I
this
know
town, new to
everyone
this
here.
Museum.
Oh, sorry.
No, of course, darling. Go ahead.
I know every single member of the patron club, and I wasn't aware that we were receiving new people in the roster.
Why, yes, I'm here on some very classified business. However, I might be willing to share some of that info to the right crowd. Of course, not for free.
Someone in the crowd's like, oh, she must be here to investigate those silly hauntings everyone's talking about. Ashley says, oh, Chadwick, stop being such a bore. Now, Miss Silverin, is it true you're here to investigate the hauntings?
Oh, guilty as charged. Honestly, I love to try to keep that mystique about me, but I'm just such a gossip. It's impossible for me. But you guys seem rather pardon my language, over it? What's the deal with that? I've had 3 people passed away, and one of them being a patron of this club.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy persuasion check for me.
Persuasion, baby. Please don't fuck. I have as my persuasion. I plus 5. Only a 9. Okay, so that's 14.
14.
14, not the best, but not terrible. Not good.
Yeah, so... yes, they all kind of like make a tisking sound. Oh, it was just so unfortunate, Ashley says, when we lost Gregor. He was such fun at these events. Without him, it's positively... tired.
Can I get insight?
Yes, you can.
Sweet, I plus 7 to this. Wisdom, 17 plus 7, so that's a 24, I believe.
He is glad that Gregor is dead. It just the way she was talking about him, he was competition number 1 to being the most popular person in the club. And now that he's gone,
makes me like Ashley more.
Now that he's gone, she definitely like you can see her sort of like puff up her chest a little bit, her feathers. Is like she's very proud of where she is seated right now.
Gotcha. Interesting. I think she's going to say to the group, being like, oh yes, it's rather unfortunate business. It's rather unfortunate. I mean, and I'm sorry I'm mixing pleasure with business, but I truly have to ask, he wouldn't have any enemies, would he? I mean, I know nothing about this guy. And truly, no one is really an angel to get to where we are they?
Enemies, Dame Ashley Anderson says. No. Gregor was well liked by basically everyone. He was a club favorite, one might say. She smiles, which is weird when a Kenku does that, because it's more in their eyes, like, because the beak can't really, so there she smizes at you.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm trying to think. Part of me is thinking I want to cast Zone of Truth, but I don't know if I can do that secretly.
No.
You super cannot. They
No.
will know.
Let's move over to Savodia. Where are you in the lounge?
Right, so I'm at the whiskey tasting, and I assume there's like a group of people just standing around and trying things, right?
Yes, definitely.
And,
they're being led by a human woman with short blonde hair that kind of like comes up in waves, dry and curly, and she's wearing like a caterer's outfit and offering wet whiskeys to people.
Right, she will walk off and be like, so which one do you recommend?
Well, all of our whiskeys are good. Is there a special type of flavor you are after?
I once tasted this one, and she's speaking, and she's trying to speak loudly so that other people hear and hopefully catch on. Like, I once tasted one called Blackmaker whiskey. From Dwarfen, 50 years old, has a licorice root sort of taste to it. Very expensive, so good.
Are you looking for perhaps an anise taste?
Something like that. If you do, but I don't think anything will quite match that one.
I do not think we could match a Dwarven whiskeys, but we can definitely get close.
Right. All right. Give me the best you got then.
So yeah, she hands you a whiskey that, to someone who tastes whiskeys regularly might taste a little bit something more than just gasoline.
Right.
No projection there.
I don't drink whiskey. I'm just making this up. But
Because to me, I'm like, this is whiskey. I don't know what you're talking about. Fruits, floral, and nut? No.
No. I think Svetia's just trying to what her what she'd hoped for is that she sort of came across someone who knows what they're talking about. That other people might sort of like get like, okay, this person is not an outsider, almost like that. And who in this group is like looks like they're in charge, or looks like who has the most people around them?
I feel like because you put it in my head, let's go with like a dwarven person who
Right.
is definitely showing off on their knowledge of whiskeys. And the whiskey offerer, the human woman, she seems a little. She's not put off by the fact that this dwarf has sort of taken over the tasting table. In fact, she just seems a little bored. Well, they're doing my job now, so I guess I'll just sit here and pour some whiskey.
Customer service, am I right?
Right. I guess if I just trying to, with the whiskey, stand in that circle, but not really say anything, just sort of listen first, and sort of, I guess trying to figure out, sort of get a vibe of this person, like who are they, and kind of how do I engage with them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Does someone in the group want to help me come up with a name for this dwarf?
Ooh, back to the naming list.
Ooh.
We have a Patrick Steele with an E.
Ooh. He looks like a.
Very movie star.
I was gonna say like a Fabio type dwarf.
Ooh.
Tan skin, long blonde hair. Maybe just like a really short beard, well trimmed. White shirt that's like open to reveal like lustrous blonde.
One button
chest
too
hair.
many open. Yeah.
Everyone white hair is so attractive, and I don't know why.
Money buys beauty.
Ooh. Oh, is it very much that thing of like, yeah, this is just my part-time job until my career takes off? I don't know what.
So
It's just a side gig.
Patrick Steele is like, yes, well, this whiskey certainly could use a few more years in its barrel, I'm sure, but for a tiny tasting here this evening, it's quite acceptable.
So he just sort of pipes up like, which one you got then?
This would be the Green Meadow Mark brand.
I think I've had that one, what was it? 1962?
Yes, I believe if it had just a few more years in the barrel, the yellow grass taste would come out just so much more.
Oh, yeah. Definitely agree on that. Which one's your favorite of the ones here?
Oh, well, I couldn't possibly pick a single favorite.
Really? I usually like to pick favorites. You know, it's separating the bad apples from the good ones.
Yeah, when it comes to liquors, whiskey, of course, is the preferred drink of choice for a gentle dwarf of taste and privilege.
Alright. Which one? See, I. By the way, the guy's name was Gregory.
Gregor.
Gregor, the one who
Right.
died.
Order.
Yeah. Rip. Like, so, Gregor invited me to this place, but which one was his favorite?
Is that...
Oh.
That sounds like a deception.
Well, it is. It is. Hang on.
A sneaky little lie.
That is a 19.
Ooh.
19 total.
Yes.
Yes, well... poor Gregor was quite sad when we heard about what happened to him. Gregor was quite fond of a different brand than we don't have here. A dwarven brand. That is how Gregor and I first met at a what was it, Blackmaker?
Yeah.
Blackmaker tasting. So I brought him on, and then he became a patron of the museum through me.
Right.
Terrible
Yeah, I
stuff.
was. Yeah, he invited me, and then he kicked the bin. So I feel like kind of lost around here. I don't know if I don't know. Can you show me around? And she had accent. Savodia, by the way. I didn't catch your name.
Lovely to meet you. I'm Patrick Steele.
Right. I think he talked about you sometime, if I remember correctly. He spoke fondly of you.
Well, I would hope so. Gregor and I were fast friends.
Can I do an insight check?
Yes, you can.
Got him.
That is another 19.
Okay. You
Oh,
believe him. He definitely seems saddened.
Okay.
Sad enough to, not go to the wine tasting. I don't know if he's that sad, but he's definitely disappointed and not like happy like Dame Anderson was.
Right. So, how'd he? I had never caught. How'd he die exactly? I only heard of his passing. I didn't quite catch how it happened.
Well, it seems that the guests, the victims of this fundraiser foil, that is what we are referring to, these phantoms or spirits that have been haunting the museum. Gotta hydrate in chat, everyone, so make sure you hydrate.
Oh, yeah.
It seems that they've all died of the same cause, a stopped heart. Whether or not that was due to fear or some sort of malignant presence, then I don't know, and I would leave that sort of work best to the analysts.
And what, he was just on his own here after hours, or what was he doing here?
Well, we have many events here, hosted by the Patrons Club, but Tier 3 patrons also receive a key to allow themselves entry into the museum on their own.
Why, that's interesting. He never told me about the key.
It is a secret best held between people who are in the Patron Club. Which you must be now, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he invited me, but like, I feel a little lost about him here, kind of.
There are only a few patrons at Tier 3.
Right.
Gregor, myself, Dame Ashley Anderson, and some others. No, we'll say just those three.
Okay.
Keep it short and simple. This is the one shot.
Three and three.
3 and 3.
Right. So, but why? I do wonder though. What would you need in a museum on your own after hours? Even if you got a key, what kind of stuff would you do around here?
Well, as Tier 3 members of the club, we are responsible for putting together and scheduling some of the after-hours events. So, for instance, I let myself in early yesterday evening to set up this fine whiskey tasting.
And you did a great job at that.
Thank you.
I must say.
Thank you.
Yeah. Was he setting up something, or what?
Gregor? I'm not sure what Gregor was doing. I suppose you'd have to ask him.
Well.
Whoa. Bad vibes.
Well, I would if I was a necromancer, but wait, no, Gregor is the same as. Wait, it's a different one.
Gregor was one of the 3 victims.
Oh, that's right. No, but yeah, okay. So never mind. I did get it right. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. How? Do we also know when they Was it? How recent was it? Did we remember? Did we mention?
Highbury, was it in the note? It said in the last few weeks, a few people.
Yeah. Let's go and say that this was actually really recent and only maybe about 3 to 4 days ago.
Okay. So in the last
Some small amount of time has passed, but not
Right.
enough where any forensics work would be impossible to do because that would make
Right.
the mystery story harder.
Yeah. He's like, oh well.
He probably isn't in the museum, is it?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I honestly don't really believe in ghosts. I think if anything, someone might have got him. I don't know if he had any enemies or if he, was in some bad books or some bad people.
Perhaps, but ghosts are plenty real, my friend. Whether or not you believe in them does not stop them from believing in you.
Suppose that's fair. They can believe in me all they want. I don't really care. But yeah, right. That's very unfortunate. Sure hope nothing else happens tonight. It would be a real shame.
Yes, that would be quite a shame.
Have you seen any of these ghosts around?
Well, I have not seen a ghost, but I am the one who discovered Gregor's body.
Oh. Well,
He was
sorry.
found leaving the artifacts exhibit. On the floor, one hand stretched out forward, the other clutching his chest.
Right. And what? Okay. Was there anything strange about other than that? Anything like, I don't know, blue skin from like poison or torn clothes? Anything?
He had a look of shock on his face.
Interesting. Well, guess we'll never know. Enjoy your evening. And
He raises his glass.
and just chugs it, puts it away, grabs another one from the bar, and then walks up to sort of look around for the rest of the people. And yeah.
As we leave the very fancy patron lounge, we go through the darkened, sort of moonlit halls of the museum and into the artifact exhibit hall. This is quite a large hall, separated just from a big picture perspective. You can see, what are there, 7 schools of magic? So
7 or 8.
we can see that this exhibit hall is separated into 7 parts. One for each school of magic. Abjuration,
There we go.
divination,
And
transmutation.
there's a couple
etc.
where there could or could not be accepted. But yes.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
Like graviturgy.
Oh, spicy. Spicy magic schools.
Is that not
I
the
see.
Yeah.
sub-school of transmutation?
Nope, it's its own thing.
Interesting. But this
But
is
that's one of
a-
those debatable things. Anyway.
Oh.
Right, I
It's
was gonna say this
fine.
is an exhibit hall meant for the
7 is
general
fine.
public. So
Controversial.
we see our 2 analysts head into the exhibit hall. Professor Lenhart and Tybury, what are you doing?
I think, did the professor mention that she wanted to go directly to the divination exhibit just
Yes,
out of a wanting
because
to see what's there? Rather,
that is-
is that a to investigate, or is it because you want to go see what stuff's in the museum, like as a museum goer?
Both.
Uh-huh.
Because divination is her school of magic.
hmm
So she does that sort of Doctor Who thing of like, well, that's one of mine, that's one of mine, that's one of mine. I recognize what that is. I recognize what that is. Oh, they didn't have this thing. Oh, that sort of thing of like judging whether or not their divination section is up to snuff.
Yeah, there's like the sound of what kind of shoes do you wear?
She's wearing Oxford heels.
Right,
So
yeah.
they're
There's like the
click-clacking
click of
across the
heels
floor.
and the kind of like light tink of metal across the marble floor as like in silence we just kind of like walk through that part of the hall, just kind of stopping and observing. Every so often you kind of see Highbury's reflection like in the glass separating you from the exhibits. It's just generally standing pretty passively. Also kind of scanning the room, but not literally a head on a swivel. You would have to kind of stare at Highbury for a moment to notice it move.
Okay. Sorry.
Go for it.
She will sort of look around the different, particularly the historical objects used for divination and scrying and stuff. Is a particular interest of hers because she's tried different ones. Tea leaf seems to work the best for her, but she's always interested to see if there's anything from other cultures that she hasn't tried before.
So I think on display here, something you've probably seen here, although it's been at the museum for a long time, lives here basically, is a copper bowl that is used for scrying in its reflective surfaces. It's quite old, ancient, one would say. The specifically, the little placard on the display case says this ancient copper scrying bowl was used by peoples from several thousand years ago, and said to be one of the first sort of written or recorded methods of divination used by mortality. There's also some other stuff, maybe like some tarot cards, some like cool, like very one-of-a-kind drawn tarot cards.
Is there one of those really janky, cursed, like, carnival statue things where you put in a coin and it gives you a really weird fortune?
Boy.
Okay, there is now.
And it's behind like glass because it's cursed and no one should touch it.
There's a little mini section of plausibility and hoaxes.
But as you come up and look at it, you both realize the cursed robotic fortune teller, the case that protects people from being able to put coins into its slot is cracked. The lock hangs on it, unlocked.
Oh dear. That doesn't look good at all.
I wonder. And let's go and make a... It's not necessarily my sphere of expertise, but shall we... Let's make a brief history roll, I think, on seeing specifically how old or maybe where this thing is from, so what kind of coins it would take. Uh, 15 plus 4 for 19.
This fortune-telling box, as it's referred to, has been... Its origin is unknown. It's let's say carbon dated to be several hundred years old. Although there are theories that it may come from a different plane of existence or from somewhere out of time. Just because of the wear that's on it doesn't seem to be very likely, considering how long like electricity and stuff has been around.
I like this. Highbury, I think, waits until the professor. Do you have questions on? Do you want to do any investigations on the machine, Professor?
I would like to see how recently this was cracked. Some kind of investigation check.
Yeah,
whether it was cracked
Highbury's
by...
gonna wander off. But yeah, go for
it. Whether someone tried to pick the lock and then decided to break it, or whether someone got knocked into it, or like something like that.
It
Just
looks
how did this break happen and how recent was it?
Even without investigation check, it does look picked. The lock. So the fortune-telling box has been enclosed in a sort of box, and then there's a door that can be opened to pull it out, and that normally has a padlock on it. The padlock is open, unclicked, which leads you to think it was picked, because it's not broken or anything. And the fact that someone put it back on, or left it hanging on there, tells you either it's been sitting like this for a long time and no one's noticed it, which is not likely, or it was very recent, in the last 24 to 48 hours, that someone opened this and then shut it and hung the lock back on. But whether or not, why didn't they click the lock shut?
Okay. And the words, yes. The cracked glass.
For that, make an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 17. Wait. No. 19. Excuse me. I can math.
Examining the crack in the glass, you get the sense that someone did bump into it. You can see threads of from a red overcoat that had been caught in the crack of the glass.
I will grab a little like evidence baggie from my case and use some tweezers to like pull the threads into the evidence baggie.
Okay.
Well, what do you think of that, Highbury?
You turn around and Highbury is not there.
Oh,
Are we in a position to kind of introduce other sections of this museum?
For sure.
There is a section for this museum for UPARTs. I believe that stands for like out of place artifacts. In real life, that's, things that they can't place as being from this world. And since this fortune-telling box is under the study, maybe not from this particular dimension, Highbury has wandered off to the UPARTs part of the museum and to see if there's anything particularly interesting in there that is also similarly from out of place.
I mean, define interesting. It could all be interesting.
Yeah, I have a thing in mind that I want to find, but I'm happy to roll dice about it.
I was gonna say roll a die to see if you find what you want.
Yeah, let's go make an investigation roll to see if we find maybe the genre of thing I have in mind. That is a 2 + 7, so 9.
9. What were you hoping to find?
Coins. Coins from a different place in a different time.
No coins you do not find. You find several different things. A clock whose numbers are of a different script, an unknowable script. And it's odd because it is laid out exactly like a 12-hour clock, but there's just strange icons in the spot. And instead of 2 hands, there are 4, 2 small and 1 medium and 1 big, as well as other things.
Okay.
I think the clock maybe you fixate on.
Since we've highlighted this clock in red text, I'm going to note that down as a thing that exists in the world.
Okay.
After a while, Highbury passes by the divination exhibit once again. This time with an Earl Grey martini in hand. Professor Linhart.
Oh, there you are.
Investigation is thirsty work. Offers you the Earl Grey martini.
Oh, thank you, dear, but I don't drink on the job. That's more Savodia's thing.
Fair enough. This will be available for you as maybe a celebratory beverage then. It opens its chest, places the martini glass inside, closes it.
Thank you, dear. You're always so helpful. I saw what you did for Chitara. You're so kind.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mom.
Of course you don't.
Highbury glances down the kind of like different halls.
What is it you were looking for in the other hall?
There was a degree of a potential future for this particular investigation that turned out to not be so immediately useful, although it does make me think. We haven't spoken to the others about the information they've gathered in terms of stuff
Nope.
like cause of death.
Not yet.
But I think it might behoove us to have a brief conversation with either the security or the curator who can establish where the bodies were found.
I was just gonna say,
Yes.
I think Larissa, the half-orc woman with the sort of tinge of green skin in her suit, comes in at this point.
Mhm.
Settling in all right.
Have you noticed this lock was broken? Or picked, or whatever?
Oh, no, nobody's noticed that. Should I lock it, or do you need it unlocked for your investigation?
Well, I'd rather think the authorities would like to probably investigate this as we did.
She raises an eyebrow. Are you not the authorities?
No, Mom.
We are private investigators.
A business card is offered with l'assemblage written in a kind of gold embossed font on it.
L'assemblage.
Mm-hmm. Assembly required.
Yeah.
But with, you know, the general, like, addressed, proper, like, 22B Baker Street looking ass business card.
Well, I don't know why curator Carmona? Carmona. My handwriting is awful. If I actually want to read my notes, I need to like write legibly. I still don't know why curator Carmona opted for bringing in PIs and rather the actual authorities who can do something about this.
No, we'll offer it. Have you, sorry to consider the potential issue, but I do believe that because this is so tied in with the financing of the museum, that having the authorities involved might hinder the running of the museum, least of all your pay.
Huh. Financing and pay. That's a joke.
I agree. The lives lost are far more important.
You are not paid very well, Mom?
I'm paid well enough. It just seems those at the top get paid extra. More than they deserve.
Isn't that the truth?
There is a gentle look from Highbury towards the professor.
Yes, well, there is a reason I am working with these lovely people instead of at the university, let's say.
What, money?
That's one thing, but also those in power using it in ways they probably shouldn't.
Yeah. And Carmona stands to benefit from all of this the best.
How so,
Certainly-
Mom?
Go ahead and roll persuasion for me, please.
That is a thing that the robot is specifically bad at.
Well, it certainly does draw attention to this big reveal of the exhibit they're doing in a few days.
That's for sure.
I'll roll that persuasion, actually.
Please
'cause,
do,
you know,
please do.
There may be information gleaned from this roll going poorly.
Believing
That
it, so you
is-
might crit.
No,
might
that is
crit.
a 7 minus 1, so a 6.
Ah, no.
Is that maybe a
No.
chance, Professor, where we want to use one of your...
If you think an 11 would make it, because the highest roll I had
Probably
was
a
12.
10 because of the -1.
And it's a -1. I mean, 10's better than
Yerp.
6.
It's
You're-
fine. I'm happy to let the roll fail. Like, you know, this is as long as the story moves forward from the failure, it's
Right.
all good.
Maybe it was a bad idea to separate all the charming people and so.
So you said to Larissa,
How so, Mom? How does Grant Carmona stand to benefit?
oh, well, she makes a frowned face. That's probably not any of my business to talk about, really. I mean, it's just better if everything goes smoothly and calmly.
Highbury bows. Apologies, Mom, for asking such a difficult question.
It's fine. So,
One of the do you know any of the people who died?
right, that's what I was coming in to tell you. So one of the victims was found exiting the hall like he was running away from something. What was it? We had a security guard, a curator, and a patron.
Yes.
A member of my security team was found in front of in the necromancy section. Makes sense if there are ghosts killing people. It's got to be where it's coming from, right?
I'm so sorry for your loss. And she just puts like a gentle hand, well manicured hand, like on her on her upper arm, I guess, if she lets her.
Larissa looks uncomfortable, but she allows it. She's just like, like it's not the touch that makes her uncomfortable. It's the apologies, sort of like, oh, I don't, anyway, it's professional. Some things happen in the line of duty. And the curator was found in the enchantment section. I don't really understand that, but hey, I'm not the analyst here.
Necromancy and enchantment.
And they're on opposite ends of the hall,
Mm-hmm.
with divination being in the middle.
Interesting. Well, thank you. We'll be sure to have a look at those.
Sure. Let me know if you need anything.
Actually, could you call Curator Tim Yaffe, please?
I'll go get Timmy. And
Thank
she
you.
goes and she goes. Anything else you want to do in the hall before I think we bring everyone back together, maybe?
Sure. I think in Sotto, so under the voice, once Larissa kind of like leaves to go get Tim Alfie, Highbury says, "I wonder how much the other security team member was paid. It seems that maybe if she wasn't forthright, Larissa was quite concerned with how many people are paid how much within the museum."
Yes. Money is definitely one of the factors in this. Although how has yet to be seen. Perhaps the other two will have found some more motive.
And so.
Okay. So we all come back together shortly before Timothy shows up. Or, Savodia, Chitara, are you staying in the lounge for more action?
I think after a while would have sort of, because what's his name, Patrick, said that the guy died coming from the artifact, so I think that's something that she wanted to look at. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about Chitara though, but
Chitara?
I'm thinking. Okay. I maybe want to use a channel divinity of mine on Ashley. I'm thinking about using read thoughts. And basically, I'm just going to read it. You can use a channel divinity to read a creature's thoughts. You can then use your access to the creature's mind to command it. As an action, choose one creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. That creature must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature succeeds on the saving throw, you can't use this feature on it again until we finish a long rest. If the creature fails, you can read its surface thoughts. Wait. Okay, actually, wait, there's two. Okay, I'm not gonna. Oh, you know what I am gonna do? I think Chitara is gonna leave. I think she's gonna, like, make a very polite goodbye. Just, oh, it's been lovely. I'll be back after talking to a couple of my colleagues. But she is going to cast Arcane Eye and just leave it where she was.
How does that look to the camera when you cast the spell? Like, what do we as the audience see?
I think like Chitara has like her hands to like her back, and just kind of like with like a flourish of like her wrists, you see like these like blue clouds with like little like spots of like yellow just kind of like show up, and then they kind of like morph. It's not like literally an eye. I imagine more like a dreamscape artist interpretation of like a projection of like an eye. You know what I mean? It's invisible, by the way, so they can't see it.
Yes.
So it'll just kind of like hover, like only Chitara can see it, but it's just like this big, like, imagine like if Sauron was like blue and dreamy, like soft aesthetic vibes. This big eyes just hanging out where Chitara was standing. And then so she's goodbye. So while she's talking to her friends, colleagues, she will be able to see and hear everything that is happening.
The end here. Okay.
And it looks in every direction, by the way. It's not like straightforward. It's like full 360.
Okay, interesting.
The
And-
sensory input from that must be wild.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It is
I would
so
never.
insane.
Is that something like you cast it and then you need Savodia to like lead you by the hand because you're watching that, or is it something that you can just like flip back and forth like between channels?
I think it's like dual. I think she has access. It's like she has a third eye, basically. It's like a whole separate thing. And I feel like for a normal person, it would be a really freaky thing. But because she's a Kalashtar, she's used to freaky sensory experiences. You know, she talks to people's minds all the time. You know, I imagine like adding sight to that wouldn't be too crazy.
Okay.
So she's just like, peace out, bye guys.
So you
I
cast
do
the
have a-
arcane eye.
I do have a question.
Hoping to hear some goss.
Is Daniel Snapsberg anywhere in the lounge? Has he been
Yeah, what's
spotted?
Daniel Snapsberg? Motherfucker.
Daniel Snapsberg. He's
I'm sure I'll talk to that guy if you said.
He's an employee, so he wouldn't be in the lounge with the patrons. But you could, if you want to go and find him, he would most likely be in the offices where the curators sit.
Okay, good to know.
Hunt his ass down.
Yeah, Daniel Snapsberg the third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the four of
So
you,
Chitara does go to the thing.
yeah, so you all come back, share your notes perhaps on what we've seen so far, and then Timothy goes up with Larissa. Hi, yes, hello, I was called for.
When was the last time the authorities were here?
They were here 2 days ago when Gregor's body was. No, did Patrick say was it yesterday that he discovered Gregor's body, or the day before?
I think it was 3 days or something like that, or 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, it would be. We can be loose on this, but I guess it was 2 to 3 days ago that this incident occurred.
Yes. So
Yeah.
when Gregor's body was discovered by Mr. Steele.
Did they make any note of the lock on this cursed artifact being broken?
I
or
don't
opened?
think they noticed that. I have certainly
you?
haven't noticed it.
Interesting. Why not?
It slipped my attention. There's so much going on, you know. Plus, getting ready for the new exhibition.
Yes. The new exhibit. Is it to be part of the? It was to be part of the wider artifacts exhibit, but where was it to be placed?
Yes, we are preparing, and we're planning on removing a big chunk of what is here in the middle of the hall to celebrate the artifacts that we found from the not Scotland castle.
Actually, no, we'll push it. No, Brisa, that's unfortunately not quite what I asked. Where within the artifacts exhibits is to be placed, since they're so neatly organized by School of Magic?
Well, yes, so we were planning on moving things around a little bit, but he sort of sketches like an area in the center of the hall where, you know, the divination thing is in the middle. That would have to be moved out of the way. The what were we calling it, those unknown artifacts?
Oh, Upats.
Upats.
Yes.
Those would need to be moved away. In fact, curator Carmano was saying the many of these artifacts and exhibits would have to be going in storage.
Very good, sir.
Anything else?
So they found a lot of things then at this archaeological site.
Oh, yes. I mean, lots of it is, you know, simple house goods. We wanted to sort of recreate what a living chamber in this old, not Scottish castle would have been like.
An immersive exhibit.
Exactly.
Fascinating. I was previous. Savodia was Ms. Deward was talking to me earlier before you arrived, and she did raise the nature of the assistant who unfortunately has passed. The assistant curator who would have been, I suppose, at the same rank as you, above, below.
Yes, one of my colleagues.
Highbree's eyebrows do not move, so they do not raise. But again, it seems that Timothy is not quite answering the question.
Dang, never mind. Sorry.
No, you're good. It is not in Highbree's nature to push if it can help it. But we've set up the pitcher throw for somebody else to swing at.
I'm trying to. I can throw a suggestion at him.
Ooh.
I mean, we can
Tell him to-
absolutely go that route.
Do
if we
it.
want
It's
to.
a one shot. Pull out all the stops.
Oh my.
Right. Hang on. Let me quickly read the details of this.
It's two of them, right? It's Chimalfi
of
and
them.
Larissa.
And
Yeah.
Larissa,
Oh,
yeah.
right,
To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah,
you
yeah.
could just, if you didn't want to necessarily burn a spell slot on this, just be kind of like, hey, what rank was this person compared to you? What was
To
their
be
name?
fair-
You've not said.
To be
Yeah.
fair, this
Yeah.
sounds like a good zone of truth moment.
Sure.
Because I was
by
also
all
for
means.
suggestion, I was gonna say like tell the truth or something like that. So yeah, the zone
Yeah,
of truth
yeah.
would probably work better.
It's zone of truth. No, I think the way she cast it, she's like, you know what? I can feel a lot of tension. You know, back home we had this really fun drinking game. Wow. And she explains like this randomly like imagine like spin the bottle, but it's like whoever like does it has to tell the truth, but it's like fully rigged. It's not just so she's casting Zone of Truth. They have to make a DC 15 charisma saving throw.
But this is on both of them, right?
Well, it's everybody in the room.
You're-
It's an AoE.
It's
Oh,
everyone.
this is gonna be fun. Confession hour.
Yeah, listen, you guys want to roll against me? And
DC
see what
15
Is Zone
wisdom,
of-
you say?
Oh yeah.
Is Zone of Truth not a cone?
No, it's a little sphere.
Alright,
Oh,
let
is
me
it? Okay.
try. What was it? A wisdom?
For
Oh,
radius.
Charisma.
never mind. I rolled a nat 1. Never mind.
It's
Oh, well,
charisma.
then that's
it's
a drink.
charisma.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh,
drink.
Drink, everyone.
Drink.
Or eat.
Or eat. It's charisma, everyone. That's the thing you're using.
So it's a charisma saving throw, not wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
It's
I
not.
even with nat 1, I rolled a 7, but that that doesn't make it.
15 in
Aw.
that case. If it's
15
charisma.
beats it.
Hey, you meet it.
20.
Alright.
Nice.
And
I don't
Savonia,
have to
sorry.
roll for my own spell, right?
I rolled a nat 1. That's why.
Yeah,
we
that's
drank.
right.
You don't get to
Aw.
resist your own
So,
spell.
and
You're
Chitara,
fine, I
you're
think.
good.
And I have to
Consider
resist
your
my
own
own
Yeah.
spell.
Do you know if they
Also-
passed it or not?
No,
Do.
I don't think so.
I don't. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which you would normally respond with a lie. Such creature can be evasive. Okay, so I don't know if I don't know whether they've passed or not, but they only know the spell has been casted if they failed.
Okay.
So if they say some shit, it's
Right.
like, what's that? What are you? What,
Savonia's
why do
like-
I feel weird?
Savonia just sort of glares and like really.
I def think that there is some sort of magical light happening in the area, though.
Mhm.
Like, there's a spell has been cast. You're saying the words, moving the
Yeah.
hands.
Can I do a deception check? Can I be like, I'm an entertainer. Just, you know what I mean?
I'll
Just
take a
it up.
deception check.
Fuck yeah, baby! I got a +5. Let's do this. With 10, 15. Hey.
Okay, so maybe like some purple smoke sort of outlines the circle, but not enough for them to notice it.
Okay.
Right.
So the question that was floating beforehand was about the nature about the assistant curator and Timothy, sorry, not being very evasive on actually talking about them.
Well, Timothy says, Yes, we were of equal curator rank. Shima had been pulling extra shifts, extra hours, working late nights. She was gunning very hard for promotion.
Did you also want this promotion?
Of course. Becoming a senior curator would be very good on my CV. I would earn great experience as well. Excellent experience. Of course, Shima is totally deserving, but I would have really liked it.
Insight check? Oh, sorry.
Go for an insight check.
Sweet. Insight is +7. Okay. It got into a 15 and then fell off the table, so I was like, can I keep it?
No, it has to be
Pretty
on the
line.
table.
No,
Yes.
yeah. It stopped and then it tipped. Ugh.
So it goes. Cockton disappeared,
Okay,
dice
that
don't
was-
count.
That was a 3 that time, so it's a 10 in total. Fucking bullshit.
It's hard to tell. Is your spell working? Is he
No,
just being honest?
Just a quick question:
Yeah.
are Larissa and Tim Yalthy in uniform?
Larissa is in a security, just like a plain blue security uniform.
And Tim Yalthy?
No, he's wearing that tweed vest, very
Mm.
academic chic.
That kind of brown olive green Professor
mhm.
Tweed, yeah. Interesting. And we haven't seen. Oh, okay. We'll ask it this way. Just for our records, sir, looking at Timothy, do you happen to have any visual records of your colleague Shima?
Yes, should be a picture in the hall that we take yearly of the staff here and post and hang it.
Very good, sir. And very quietly, Highbury goes to go look at that, leaving the ring so the rest can continue talking.
I'm trying to think what else would.
Uh,
What else is a good question?
Larissa
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
clears her throat. Yeah, Timothy, I mean, Shima was definitely working extra hours, but that's not the only reason she was coming in late, right?
Oh.
Timothy's like,
Oh.
but what do you mean? As he looks up at her. Well, I mean, I had heard that one of my guards said that Shima and a patron had been spotted roaming the halls late at night.
Fucking Chitara starts fucking drooling at this fucking sweet goss. Fuck. Fucking,
Shima is also a tabaxi, by the way. So when you, Highbury, you go and you look at her picture, you can see a sort of tawny tabaxi Catwoman with long whiskers, the black around her eyes, sort of like a natural eyeshadow, or her fur at least.
Is the security guard on there too?
Yes, if you went out there, you would see the security guard as well, who we didn't have a name for just yet. We'll name them Penton.
Penton, got it. Important question. What color outfit is Shima wearing in that photo? Not the same day, but hey, I don't know whether they are in the regular habit of wearing the same kind of clothes.
Yeah, well, how drippy is the outfit?
You only
What's
see
what's
it's a
the fit looking like?
profile, so you only see the top of her shoulders. It looks like she's wearing like a black blazer.
Gotcha.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, but cutting back, I think Chitara's being like, I think she fucking wipes the drool away as she hears it, and she's trying to be professional about it, but she's fucking vibrating with excitement. And she's being she almost goes to lunge at Larissa, but then stops herself, and she goes, I'm asking this purely because it'll help with the investigation. But I need to know everything. I need to know. I need to know everything for the sake of the case.
Zoya puts a hand on her shoulder slowly.
Larissa smiles bemusedly. She seems a lot more relaxed than she did before.
And she's like, who is she seeing?
Relax in what way?
Relaxed in like she's not really thinking about what she's saying. It's just sort of the filter is sort of gone a little bit.
Is like Chitara's Riz? Is Chitara's Riz?
Her magic
Another
Riz,
question.
Absolutely.
Out of anyone
Or
we've met,
maybe-
out of everyone we've met, has anyone been wearing a red overcoat?
No. No one you've seen tonight.
But she's be like, I need to. Who are they? Who's the patron? What was this?
Okay.
interclass
Well, you didn't hear it from me. You did not hear it from
Of
me.
course.
She says.
I can't hear anything. Go ahead. Yes, please.
We've had reports, and of course, since it's it's our job to know who comes and goes from the museum at all hours, but they're allowed to be here. So yeah, we've seen Shima, having midnight dates with Patrick Steele, one of the tier 3 patrons.
Sorry. Yes, continue.
But honestly, she's also spent a lot of time staying up late working with A1 Daniel Snapsberg III.
Wow.
And I can tell you for certain that sometimes they weren't working.
Well, I honestly now I genuinely am sad because your coworker sounds like a riot. Sounds wonderful.
A lot of people,
I'm so sorry.
When I first took this job, I thought, hey, these nerds, how bad can it get? But I gotta say, some of these bookworms are a pretty randy bunch.
I think Chitara is going to talk. I think she's still keeping up the conversation, but I think she is going to mind link with Larissa, and she's going to be like, "Hey, don't freak out. It's me, Chitara. I'm speaking in your mind. I just want you to know. I just want to say thank you for telling me. However, if there's something you want to say without a certain coworker or people being able to hear you, you can tell me, because it's just us on this mental wavelength, But if you have nothing to tell me, that's totally cool.
Make a
but I want you
persuasion
to know,
check, please.
I am a safe space. Baby, let's do this. I'm gonna use my blue dice for this.
I will say
My
that
+5.
Hazel looks slightly offended at the boring nerds comments.
So I've got half a mind to polymorph into Shima and go up to fucking Patrick Steele again.
And Chitara, what did we get?
I got a nat 1, baby. Someone wants to save me.
Players.
Someone wants to save me with Spartan.
Yeah, we could save with a port.
I have an 11 I can give you.
I'm +5, so that would turn into a pretty rad 16.
Okay.
If you want to, it'd be nice.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Please.
Professor
Thank you.
Lenhart,
I owe you.
do you experience here, so remember we're watching this episode, does it look like a moment of like deja vu, or are you actually like manipulating the threads of fate here?
It's a little bit of both. It's I don't know if you've ever seen that Nicolas Cage movie Next, I think it's called, where he sees the next 2 minutes. It's weird.
Oh.
It's kind of that, where she sees she's not part of the conversation, but she sees like the fallout of Chitara's like not one, and just and she sees Larissa's face go red, and she's like, nope, and just everything stops for a second, and you get that sort of rewind effect back to the moment where Chitara has asked Larissa, and Chitara probably will feel a little spark at the back of her mind, and maybe the smell of Lady Grey tea. as a feeling of, for Chitara, it's a feeling of deja vu. For Hazel, it's a feeling of nope. I just rewind just a little bit,
I think that needs to try to like rewords what she says a little bit. I think in the mind link, so she mind links like she's about to say what she says, and then the smell of tea. So she's like, okay, cool. I need to change my approach. Like, know what that means? And she's gonna say in the mind link, hey, thanks for letting me know what you know. However, if there's if there's something you don't want to say out loud, you can tell me here. It's Chitara, by the way. I know your job is really tough, and there might be some politics behind the scene I'm not aware of that may stop you from speaking your mind. However, if there's some shit you want to spread to a confidant, I am here. And that's what a 16 looks like.
Okay. She's a little surprised. And then in response in your head, it says, well, she says, thanks. Well, I mean, Timothy's a good guy, good person. I don't mind speaking in front of him, but I will tell you that Shima wasn't the only one sneaking around here at night for midnight dalliances. Another patron
You gotta... Oh, yes, go.
was seen coming in the last few nights. Dame Ashley Anderson. And I distinctly remember on that same night seeing Daniel come in for some late night work. Whether or not they were meeting, I can't say. In fact, it seems like everyone was here doing something when they were caught. I will tell you, the only person I think did not have an agenda when they were here would be Penton, one of my security guards. They were relatively new on the job and hadn't had time to get to know people yet. If you're looking for motive, he says.
I like the thing at the moment you see the two people just in silence stare at each other while they communicate in their heads. Everyone else is like, okay.
I think you know what it is? I think in the beginning they were having like surface level conversation and then it stops. So I think maybe they're just having the most like intense piece of eye contact. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but this intense eye contact is broken up when from the floor of the artifact exhibition rises up 3 ghostly spirits sort of floating like shades in the air. So Meowthy immediately says, "Oh my god, they're here!" and it begins like scurrying, darting straight for the exit.
Wait, it looks like, fuck. They're real. Or, wait. She's got like, this is gonna be so
Indeed, Mom. Appearing behind you. Would you like an Earl Grey martini to settle your nerves before combat?
Oh, I'm not nervous. And she just grabs from, she's got, I think what's it called? Caltrop?
Caltrop?
She doesn't know if it's, she has off mind that it might be an illusion. She just grabs one and just tries to yeet it at one of them and see if it goes through.
It does. It does go through it.
Alright, but it doesn't. It's not like. I always feel like if you have a magic like illusion, like a major illusion, something like that, usually when it goes through, it sort of wavers. Is it sort of different? Would I be able to tell if it's like it goes through because it's a ghost, or it goes through because it's an illusion?
That feels like a thing you'd need to roll some dice about.
Yeah, probably Arcana.
I do want to say, alternatively, you could just Arcana check, detect magic,
Yeah, but I
That's
like
us.
the
Do we-
throwing as a part of the
Yeah.
check.
Yeah,
we
Like, that
yeah.
makes
recognize these
sense to
ghosts?
me. So yeah, Arcana or Religion because they are undead.
Oh,
I'm gonna go back to the scientific method, even if it's magic. You know, just...
Do we recognize them?
This is Savodia's method. She just yeets things at stuff.
Professor Lenhart, no, they are featureless, so there's nothing to recognize on them.
I rolled a 13. It's not great.
They are real. It goes through it, but it goes like slowly through it, like you can see the ripple.
Right.
Yeah, so these are 3 real wraiths that have
Right.
risen up here.
Right,
And I'm
but
gonna
there's
need
like
everyone to
sorry.
make initiative checks,
Sure
please.
thing.
right. But it does also take the martini from Highbury, like after realizing, like, ah, fuck's sake, I need to be drunk for this.
It's already in your hand, and Highbury is not there.
Yeah.
Chitara only got a 6.
Plus my initiative mod, that's also a 6.
Oh, this blue dice is rolling like absolute ass.
I'm
Why?
at a 9.
I'm guessing Highbury has the higher dex bonus than Chitara.
Yes, I have a dex mod of 3.
Road.
A 9 for Savodia and
Great.
Professor.
I rolled a natural 19.
Hey, love to
Plus
know
3
first.
makes
Ooh.
22.
Great. At least someone rolled well.
Yeah, so Professor, you saw this coming, 22. And then I've got my wraiths. Wraith 3. Okay, Professor, you saw all this sort of happening, so you go first. These 3 wraiths have risen up and they're floating over the exhibition hall.
Okay. Do they look like they're about to attack us, or like they're have some other kind of purpose?
You can sense negative energy coming off of them. They do seem like they are aggressive.
Okay.
They radiate with killing intent.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have combat spells. Let me see.
Whoa.
Race are in.
If you think you can talk them down, just because we're in initiative does not mean we have to do combat
Question.
activities.
Are ghosts immune to sleep?
Who knows?
They have no body.
Good
Yeah,
question.
maybe.
No. What? They're immune to charmed, exhaustion, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained. What does sleep fall under?
Unconscious.
Yeah, I think so.
Like that's the condition.
Wraiths are not. They have a lot of shit.
Oh,
like,
are they
they're
are they
just-
if they're are they immune to being charmed?
Yes, they are.
Okay, then it doesn't. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Do I think she could talk them down? Not really.
Or find
I
an
guess
artifact maybe that'll help you.
Ooh.
Yeah. Given that we've spent some time in the hall, is there any kind of artifact that I know can help either subdue
You
them
know the
or...
evocation section.
Make a.
It's-
So yeah, there's
Or-
the evocation.
And alternate also, can we make a guess at that these are the 3 people who died?
Make a religion check.
Religion check. 15?
15. You can't tell who these people are. It could be the 3 people who died, but you, knowing that this place was not haunted before recently, you get the sense these wraiths must be being controlled.
Controlled.
Professor, do you want to
someone-
move anywhere?
Someone summoned them. Yeah, I'm gonna move as far away from the ghost as I can. I am very squishy.
Okay.
To hopefully towards where I might find something that can subdue them.
Okay. Towards one of the various sections of magic. One of the wraiths swoops down towards security guard Larissa, and she immediately dives out of the way and dodges it, whatever it was trying to do. The second wraith will come down. We have 3 other people here. They're in the middle of the room. Highbury, Savodia, and Chitara. I'm gonna roll a 1d3.
I'm the only person I can heal. Everyone to remember that.
So it goes up to Highbury. And tries to grasp you with one of its wraithly incorporeal limbs.
Sure thing.
That would be a 24.
Well, that
attack.
does indeed beat my AC. How much damage? Oh,
Yeah,
big boy.
Razor nor
21
no,
points of
no.
necrotic damage.
21. That is
Make a
lot of
con
damage.
save.
Give me a couple things first. That's fine. And then a con
Holy
save.
shit.
Razor no small
13, which I don't think I pass.
No, you need a 14 on this.
Oh.
But your hit point maximum is also reduced by 21.
Oh, I see. I do have to do that math then. That's fine. My max is now 30.
20 points of 12 points of damage in one attack? That's more than my hit point total. We are so fucked.
No, you should be level 7.
My con is bad.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, Savodia, it is your turn.
Right. So
Everybody-
I have who is it within 10 feet of me right now? Because are we gonna go by the rules of combat? Use every round is 6 seconds.
Mhm.
Right. Who is it within 10 feet of me? Or can I get at least a party within 10 feet of me? I think
The professor has run away. Not ran away, but has moved away.
Back. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the professor was ahead of me, right?
Yeah,
So
but
we
not
moved
within
back
10
to-
feet.
Okay, so who else?
It'd be.
And
You can also move first.
Yeah, can I move in a way where everyone is within 10 feet
Yes,
of me?
yes, you can. Well,
So
because if the professor moved 30 feet away,
I don't know how far I move.
but as
Well,
far.
I specified that I moved as far away as possible.
Okay.
So the
well,
answer would
let's
be
not-
no. You can get
Alright.
Chitara, Highbury, and Larissa all in a circle.
I'll
I do
go.
say you could hold your action because Chitaro just hasn't had the chance to run away yet.
Yeah, but I need people to be near me within 10 feet. That's
Just
the
do the
curve, that's
thing.
the
Don't sweat it too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, you've
So
got 3
I
people.
yeah. So I'm gonna use my dust of disappearance. And what it does is that for 2d4 minutes, everyone within 10 feet of me becomes invisible. So they probably cannot see us, but it's no
Unless they have
concentration
true
thing.
sight.
Unless they have true sight. I don't know if they do. I don't remember, but so yeah.
I think Chitaro would have been near you if you haven't run away yet.
No. I'll. Let me know.
Okay, dust of disappearance.
That is 3 minutes. Are we
And if
invisible
they
for? And
attack, does the invisibility break per normal?
it doesn't say because it's just dust that you throw up. So it's not like a concentration or anything. I don't have to do anything. It doesn't
Just
say.
threw a
if
little
you-
chaff grenade, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
It says. Wait. It's yeah. No. I don't think so. Maybe I could be wrong, but.
Well, that
don't
brings
think
us
so.
to Highbury next. You have disappeared.
Sure. What I was gonna do is roll stealth and move towards the necromancy section. But since I'm invisible, I suppose foregoing stealth is fine. I'll let your decision deal.
Yeah,
with
that's
Oh, I
fine.
actually do have to add if you cast a spell, it ends. But if you don't cast a spell,
Good
yeah,
to know.
that's what-
I
yeah,
can
good to
only
know.
cast a spell, and it's not especially useful.
yeah,
here,
exactly.
so
So
we're good.
yeah.
It's just
Um,
casting spell. It's not like attacking someone also ends it.
No, it just says if you cast a spell, it ends. But at least for this round, they won't.
Got it.
See.
Okay.
Yeah.
Highbury, yeah, you do not have to sneak. They
Yeah,
don't. They don't know where you are now.
Highbury walks towards the necromancy section. As my specific subclass of rogue, I get the ability Eye for Detail, which lets me use perception or investigation as a bonus action. So I walk to is walking to the necromancy section within range?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to use let's say perception here, in case it's a person and not just the object acting on its own, to see if there's anything active or if there's anybody in the necromancy section currently.
Okay.
Oh, that is a natural 20.
Oh, cheers to me.
We'll drink in solidarity, it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody here. Some of the items are glowing, like passively, but to your inquisitive eye, you don't think that they are actively controlling the situation. In fact, you spy one item that you think would allow you to actually wrest control of these undead away from whoever is currently. It's sort of like this like skull pendant with chains coming out of its eyes.
Sure. I haven't attacked this turn. I don't think it's not in Highbury's nature to just break the glass. That would be silly. But I do have thieves' tools on hand mechanically. I like the idea of like a Catwoman style, like scoring a metallic finger into the glass and just.
Sure.
But since I've already rolled this turn, I'm happy to go and wait for that to be like a later thing to do.
But that was just a bonus action, your perception.
Sure, that's true. So let's go and make a roll to try and at least carefully break into this cabinet, which I suppose would be sleight of hand.
Sure.
That is a 19 plus 9 for 28.
Okay, yeah, Highbury
Wait. Yeah.
towards the
math.
glass and pulls out that skull with the chains coming out of its eyes. Maybe you could activate it and take control of these undead on the
but
next
meanwhile,
turn. Katara.
Hello, everybody. I am going to use my channel divinity, read thoughts on one of the wraiths. So they need to give me a wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
On one of the wraiths?
One of the wraiths.
You
Wisdom.
also then lose your invisibility if you cast that spell.
So if there's like a head wraith, I'm gonna aim for them.
Okay. That's a wisdom check.
It's a saving throw.
Okay. So you don't hear any of its thoughts, but you can hear the sound of like music being played from far away. I will also note in your arcane eye there are two people missing from the lounge. One being Dame Ashley Anderson, and the other being
Of course.
Patrick Steele. They are not there.
Those two.
Yes.
Oh my days. Do I know if the whatever? Okay, here's how the whole thing works. If so if the creature fails its save, you can read its surface thoughts, those top of its mind, within 60 feet of me. The whole thing lasts for a minute. And then during that time, I can use my action to end the effect and then cast suggestion whenever I want without expending a spell slot.
Okay.
And if they failed the saving throw, they automatically failed the saving throw for suggestion.
Right.
So do I know if they failed? Or is this a
they are
being that
immune to
can...
being charmed, so I wonder if that might block the...
Suggestion would fail, then it's a charm effect.
Dang.
Okay.
Alright.
But yeah, you don't. The main takeaway here is you don't sense thoughts from the creature. You sense something beyond it. Through the creature, your mind moves to a different space. Again, impressing this idea that they're being controlled.
Oh, so it's okay, cool. Mind linked with everyone, just being like, guys, they aren't real ghosts, or they're not actual. They're summoned. They're probably like whatever's like adjacent to a familiar. They're being summoned by somebody, and then also Mr. Steele and Dame Anderson are missing from the soiree in the lounge. If
Indeed,
that's
Mark.
anything.
Insightful.
Okay,
Right.
the third wraith, I think.
I'm invisible, so they can't see me.
No, no, you
No,
cast
you
spell,
cast a
right?
spell.
Spell.
That's one off.
Oh, is that? Oh, damn it!
So it comes down towards you, Chitara.
And I do want to say I didn't use my movement. I do want to say I will move my what's my fucking 30 speed to hopefully find some cover.
These things can move 60 feet flying.
Jesus.
Son of a bitch.
So it goes up to you
Okay, I hope somebody has a healing spell.
for a
'cause I can
19
die.
on the attack.
Yeah, that fucking hits. Believe it or not.
For 23 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh.
Hey, dude, I'm on -3, so I'm fucking dead. It's been cold.
You're
It's been
unconscious.
so
It drains
I'm out.
the life from you, and you are now unconscious.
Impressive.
Dying.
Yay.
Okay,
Yay.
Professor.
Oh, do you have a heart attack?
Yeah, do I have a heart attack?
Is it good?
You are. Your arm goes numb. I mean, you're unconscious, but you're definitely. You clasp at your chest for sure. Professor.
The most fucking dramatic telenovela fool.
Yes.
So, in which direction did you go? Towards Highbury or towards the professor? Or in a different direction altogether?
You've probably gone towards the because I'm elsewhere entirely unseen. I don't think you saw me move away, so it
Correct.
would make sense that you probably moved towards the professor
Towards the
rather
professor.
than me.
Okay. Shit. Okay, I will go up to Chitara and use my action to pump a potion of healing down her throat.
Oh,
Let me see, how much is that? That's not a whole lot, but
oh,
it's better than
my days.
-3.
Holy shit.
You
How much
heal
am I healed
7.
for?
7.
You heal 7.
Thank you. Thank
Let's see. Do I have any bonus actions I can do? Please tell me I have something. I do not. Okay. So that's it. I just do that and then get in front of her.
So much.
Are you able to
I-
hide as a
I-
bonus action even if you're not a rogue?
I think it's specifically a rogue thing.
It's specifically a rogue thing, an item
Wild.
interaction. It's if you take a potion yourself, that's a potion action, bonus action.
But feeding
If
it
you give a
somebody else
potion to
is your
someone
main.
else is an action.
That makes
So
sense.
I'll do that, help Chitara to her feet, and then get in front of her. Um, And I don't have any bonus action spells I can cast, so that's is
Okay.
no, that's an action as well. Never mind. Okay.
All right, so
That's
Wraith number 1 is gonna fly over to the professor.
Oh wait, can I say something to
Sure.
these ghosts?
Go for it.
Because we figured out now that they're being controlled. Oh gosh. Here's where real life me can't think of the words to say.
But what kind of message do you want to
The
express?
kind of message of like, you deserve better than being controlled by someone making you do shit for petty squabbles.
Make a persuasion check.
But I'm not as good as Nathan at coming up with actual intelligent things to say.
Oh, you're very flattering, but I'm also winging it.
Let's see. Persuasion. That is a 16 plus 2, 18.
The
Ooh.
Wraith that was just coming at you sort of stops midair, cocks its head, and then, like, dissipates from the bottom up. However, the second Wraith, who was focusing on Highbury, now has no target because Highbury has gone invisible. And will then also make its way over to Chitara and Professor, and will try to attack the Professor.
Okay.
21.
Oh man.
Yup. My AC is nothing.
No.
Yup.
17 necrotic damage.
That's pretty
Okay.
good.
No.
That's
Then-
a survivable amount.
That takes us to Savodia. There are only
Oh,
two
God.
Wraiths.
Do I not
We-
do I not
we-
need to make a con save?
Oh yes, make a con save, please.
Damn
Just to
it.
keep it honest. Oh my gosh, that is a natural 20. Holy crap.
Yes. Savodia, we have the same initiative, don't we?
No, I've got a 9, I think.
You have the 9. Okay.
Highbury and
Yeah,
Tara.
Right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right, Savodia.
Unless you wanted to discuss something, but
With the necklace, I might be able to, stop them from fighting us.
okay. Yeah, I might go over to if Tatara, if I would make you invisible, if you cast a spell again, that would make you uninvisible. I don't know if you were planning on casting anything, but
Okay, it's because, I have 2 separate things I can do, and I want to know from the group what's more important. I have healing spells, which is cool, and then I also have a wand of lightning bolts, so I can cast a 3rd level lightning bolt, which is like 8d6.
yeah, I can also. I mean, I've got fireball still, but they're all close to other people.
They use
so
it.
I'm not gonna do that. I can do a scorching ray though. I can do 3 rays of fire.
It seems they could be
Wait, I do wanna
convinced to
say-
leave. So-
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing is they can. Does Savodia care? Is the second
Mm.
question. I think
do wanna say-
she-
If you
Yeah.
do fireball, as long as Chitara is out the way,
yeah,
and
yeah,
an
yeah.
aura of life immediately after you and bring.
But you
everybody
can
back up.
also heal yourself, right? You can also use that.
Yeah, aura of life is like 6 people, so I can get
Mhm.
everybody. So if you
So-
just don't kill me with your fireball,
No.
I
Where
can
where
bring
the
everybody back up.
where's the? Well, I'm not gonna kill it in one go anyway. But where is the 3rd one? Because you put one near the professor and Chitara. Where's the other one?
There's 2 that there's one that's attacked Larissa,
Third
and
one
Larissa
left.
dived out the way. There's one that's currently aggressing Professor Hazel and Chitara, and the 3rd one has
Yeah,
disappeared.
they're all close to people. I don't think I'll go for yeah, I'll throw a scorching ray. So I'll have 2 at the one that are next to the professor and Chitara, and 1 at the one that's near
Okay.
Larissa.
Go for it.
Yeah. So hang on. Yeah. I think I rolled for all of them appropriately. What do I get? Back to that. There was it 13 hit?
Yes, exactly.
And then the second one is also 13. And then, yeah, the other one is more than that. So all 3 hit. So that is 6. Yeah, okay. So what you see is that Zavodia, I guess, while still invisible, she sort of just sparks of fire, and then her whole form like becomes visible again, and she just sort of. It's kind of like, you know how if you have a lighter, you do it like, and you use this spark. She just like this clicks, and then there's like a full rays that flick from her fingers, like in split in 3. And she's like, "Come get me, fuckers!" And then that's like, for 1, that's 10, that's 18 points of fire damage for the ones at the T'Chara and Professor, and then. Yeah, only 4. That's 1 for
Okay.
Larissa.
They both seem to burn up a little bit. The 18 point, the second one, or the first one, you can see its form weakens substantially. And instead of just like this darkness, you can actually see through it a little bit.
Okay.
Highbury.
Okay, that's good.
Highbury, with this amulet, with this skull amulet, kind of walks back out of necromancy, towards, and I guess technically behind, where the wraiths are currently aggressing people, and says quite formally, "Who you gonna call?" And activates the amulet.
The amulet activates, and these chains come out of the earth and grab the bottom of the spirits and pull them to the ground. And sort of like they're like wailing as they get pulled down into the earth by the chains.
Ooh, can we, rather than dispelling them, I would love to keep them around, but marionetted, because they can help us solve the mystery
Okay.
currently.
So they're not into the earth. They're just
Mhm.
chained to the earth. And we're gonna come out of initiative there.
All right.
At this point, Larissa and
It's hard. Who's fucked up?
Me and Highbury, I think.
Okay.
My max is reduced, so unless you have something that clears that effect, I am stuck at 31 health right now.
I have
Um,
no I didn't take any damage, so you don't have to worry about me. Just help you this.
Very cool. How many level 2s do I have? It's okay because it's either no, fuck it, I'm just gonna burn another level 2 spell.
yeah, let's just burn things because we've
cool.
only got 10 minutes
Yeah.
left in the stream, really.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Prayer of Healing. So everyone takes 2d8 plus my okay, I'll just roll that for everybody. 2d8 plus 4 amounts of healing. Oh, nice. I rolled an 8 and a 6. So it's 14 plus 4, so you gain 18 points of healing.
Okay. I don't know if that will clear my max limitation, but thank you for the healing.
There
I
is
don't
that,
think
the
it
max
does. But you're
limitation.
healed up.
That's fine.
Now I'm back to full.
So,
Okay.
with the wraiths chained, Larissa
Oh,
and
is anyone hurt? Oh, sorry. If any of the NPCs are hurt, heal.
it's
Oh.
fine.
Because I have extra people I can heal.
With the wraiths chained, Larissa and Timyalthi saying, "Oh, thank you so much." But I think Larissa nods. I think now is the time when we need your best guess. What can you theorize? What happened?
Indeed, I actually, Highbury moving past the wraiths to the three of you, is an excellent tactical decision, you three, to hold a distraction while I was able to restrain the wraiths. You are excellent ghost hunters as usual, paranormal investigators as usual. It turns to the wraiths. I'm going to need you to make a request of me, since you're now in the service of l'assemblage. You will retrace your steps that you have made through this facility in the last 3 days. And we get like a little, almost like a playback on CCTV of these ghosts, you know, rising out of the floor here, appearing and going ooga booga booga, making people like run around
Yeah,
and so on.
they
and so
pop
forth.
up individually, so they each were threatening the people who passed.
We even see, and I guess this is building towards the this kind of like solution. One move past the what was the name for it? The fortune telling box, and then turn a right, having clearly chased somebody to that end of the corridor. They've banged into that. They've banged into that like exhibit and have now continued running past, like, you know, they're Pac-Man ghosts chasing people through the exhibit. I see. Well, that makes sense. Now, I do wonder if you could be so kind as to direct me to who or what is controlling you in this building.
They do, but I need you to tell me who you suspect it is. As a group, who do we
yeah.
think is the
Mhm.
prime suspect?
Ooh,
Who did all of this?
Okay, I have a theory. I have a theory, but I don't know if it's too insane.
This is the
It's
point.
Wild.
So we're gonna get a group theory, and then we're gonna roll 2d6, and we're gonna see how it all rolls out.
Plus, however many
Okay.
clues we use if we're going by Brindlewood.
Yeah,
Bay,
so make
but,
sure you pull in. You mention the clues in your theory, and then you can add
Okay.
those to the bonus to the roll.
I might be misremembering things, and maybe this theory comes from I really like one of the NPCs and I don't want it to be them. I think Steele, Mr. Steele, is the main culprit, and I think Anderson is an accomplice, but she doesn't know the full story. Know what I'm saying? I think she unwittingly helped. Okay, so what we know is a certain security guard was having multiple affairs, and I'm gonna say multiple affairs with a lot of the patrons. Okay, and I'm gonna be real. The one interaction we had with him, I got major creepo vibes. Okay, major creepo vibes. Okay, and Miss Anderson, I think what makes her look like a prime suspect is because, she wanted to be number one. But Steele also seems to be one of the main pillars of the patronage community, so he probably also has the exact same motive as her, okay? So he has everything that would make Miss Anderson a culprit plus more. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So yeah.
Right.
I dig it.
I feel, and feel free to chime in with additional details on the story that we're weaving here. With Patrick Steele being the culprit, is a whiskey fan, and seems to. We're going to say that the particular brand that he was super interested in, the Black Maker whiskey, is a Scots brand, actually distilled in the remote area that the castle was being excavated from. And has what was specifically the financier for putting this new exhibit in the place. But as a major patron, he felt that he had the most sway. However, there are two other major patrons and needed a majority vote in able to do so. And Gregor voted against the endeavor. So to be able to force a majority vote, Gregor needed to be handled.
Okay.
I like that.
What's more, all of this was kind of done in a way to specifically pin on Daniel III, because being of high elf nouveau rich aristocracy, would be easy enough to pin on. Well, if this was going to go horribly wrong, it was clearly the fault of the person who was taking artifacts from where he shouldn't and causing chaos within the space. It wasn't me.
That's so fair.
Yep.
Any other additional details to add, Savodia, the professor?
I think it's just about sums it up. I do wonder where he found the power to get the race, though. If he, maybe he met
He's
one of
leaving
the
artifacts.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the artifacts, or maybe he has contacts within the club of someone who deals in the dark arts.
Well,
libraries.
Going back to his rivalry with the two other patrons, perhaps, because who was the last person who died? The last person who died was the patron or the
Gregor,
security
yeah.
guard?
It was Gregor.
The patron.
Yeah, it was so.
Perhaps-
it was Gregor, a security guard, and then somebody else. I don't remember.
another
curator.
So-
curator.
Perhaps
Curator, yeah.
Steele, realizing the power that this fortune teller box had after decided to see how the vote would turn out, and used the box to see whether Gregor would vote for or against his ideas. And once he realized this wasn't going to turn out his way, that's when he decided to send someone after Gregor. Or the wraiths, I guess, after
That makes
Gregor.
sense.
That sounds
definitely.
good.
In terms to answer Savodia's question about how the wraiths were controlled, well, Highbury wandered into the out-of-place artifacts part of the building and inspected something that looked like a clock with strange numbers on it, but in fact it wasn't a clock. It was a musical instrument. A very elaborate musical instrument from a different dimension that can be programmed almost like a player piano to be able to play specific notes at certain times. And since we heard music coming from the mind reading that Chitara was doing on the wraiths, we move through to the Uparts part of the exhibit and see the not grandfather clock finish its pre-programmed melody that clearly very few people know how to operate.
Okay.
I like that.
I don't even want to make you roll for it because you've pieced that together so well. But let's go ahead and get a 2d6 plus 2 roll and see where it comes out. If we
Does somebody want to do that 2d6?
I
don't
do we
mind.
all roll them or yeah?
just one person, I just need the one.
Go for it,
I
Savodia.
Okay. Oh god, +2,
I
right?
can't totally scry on literally anybody.
is-
If we want to confirm.
It's a +2. That is
Yep.
8.
8, so
Oh.
with complications.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay.
So what? We move back through to the Uparts part of the exhibit and see standing near this not grandfather clock is a one Patrick Steele.
He is there. There is a chase scene as he's trying to get away. But I think Timothy ends up sort of like getting in the way and like causing him to fall down a flight of stairs that just happened to appear.
Mmm.
Is now like the time to fireball him? Or is that too much? Is that
When in
too
Rome.
Throw a
When in
fireball.
Rome.
Because
Do
he-
it.
Where in the museum do you throw that fireball? Important
much?
question.
He fell down the stairs, right? The outside steps or
Yeah,
which-
the
which
outside-
step?
the outside
Yes,
steps.
he's outside. So the room is not too small. 1 second. Let me get the development dice because that's 9d6.
Oh god.
Yeah, come on. It's my last spell slot, okay?
I guess the complication is we don't get to question him afterwards.
Yes.
No, he gets to die.
He just fucking dies.
Guys.
I can
Alright,
totally
hang on.
bring him back. I do want to
Yeah.
say.
I can also speak with Dead, but it doesn't mean he wants to speak with us.
We can have him alive. I can just, a cheeky kill him. Or just let him die. Up to the group. Democracy, baby.
There's 24 points of fire damage.
Okay. So as Patrick Steele is inevitably brought back from the brink of death, he's sort of like all burnt, wheezing. I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling do-gooders.
Very good, sir.
Timothy and Larissa, thank you. And the mystery of the fundraiser foiler is solved.
And we hold a
Yay.
celebratory tea party.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know it's about just going for the rest of the whiskey. Because the investigation over, now she can get drunk. She's not drunk on the job anymore.
Rich Tar is already telling this story to like the fucking spirits and
Thank you so much for playing with me tonight, everyone. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that
thank you
was
very
fun.
much.
Yeah,
this
It
was
a lot of
fun.
Thank you for
Oh,
trusting me and for taking the spirit of improv here because, yeah, definitely needed y'all's help. So I really appreciate
always
that.
fun.
And thank you, dear viewers, for hanging out with us tonight. We are all online in various forms and ways. So if you want to see more of us, now is the time to listen in and see where we can be found. So Faiza, if you can kick us off, what are you up to? Where can we find you? What's going on?
Cool. Hello, I'm FaZe OO. Nice to meet. Well, I mean, we've been hanging out this past couple hours. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Faisa with a Taser, FAISA with TAISA. I make TTRPG content on TikTok and I make art on my Instagram. So that's cool. I'm also the DM on the Spice of Dice podcast. We are currently in the middle of our Clockwork campaign. So if you're into the 1920s, apocalypses, sorcerers stuck in other dimensions, if that sounds fun to you, please check us out. We're really cool. I'm also on Twitter at JustFaZaOwo. And I post things sometimes. So if that seems like your cup of tea, check it out.
Awesome. Anna, how about you?
Hi, I am Anna, and I am pretty much on every social media as Peculiar Planets. I am usually a tabletop writer. I also write comics, but I also am gonna star on a what would they call it? 10-session Vampire the Masquerade stream soonish. I can't really have too many details yet, but if you follow me, you can get updates. And yeah, otherwise, I like to invade other people's streams as a guest player. So if you just want to keep up with that, yeah, you can follow me.
Okay, awesome. The Never Squid.
Hi everybody, I'm the Never Squid, your friendly neighborhood squid person who is not related to Cthulhu, I promise. I am a VTuber, artist, horror enthusiast, and TTRPG performer. I am at the Never Squid on everywhere where the social media is social. And I am not on anything, so I'm happy to be cast in anything, really. But I do want to plug 2 different charity streams that are coming up. One is on the 22nd of April on the Tavernaut channel. Let me double check what the cause was, because I do know, but let me get the details correct. There is I thought he had it here. I guess it's in the wrong place. It's on the 22nd of April on the Tavernaut channel. It's a charity stream, a big one. So if you're interested in charity, please check it out. He's a good friend. Then on the 26th of May is the Roll for Good charity stream, which is the whole weekend, where there will be lovely games by a bunch of different people, and hope to see you there.
You'll see both me and the Never Squid. We're both mods at Roll for Good. And Roll for Good also, they will be very shortly, if you're not following them on Twitter, we'll be announcing player signups for the charity games. And I hope that some of us will get a chance to play together again that weekend. But definitely, I was going to shout out Roll for Good as well, an awesome Europe-based TTRPG charity organization. And I'll also say you can see me in the Never Squid at RinCon next week in the Netherlands, Roll Initiative Con. If you haven't got your tickets yet, they're 15 euros, super affordable. It's the first year ever, so the more people that come, the bigger we can make this happen. A good continental role-playing con, I think, will do wonders.
I found it. The charity on Tavernaut's channel on the 22nd of this month is an RPG-a-thon for UNICEF's emergency appeal for Ukraine. So come support that. And now over to Nathan. I'm so sorry for taking so much time.
No, you're good. I have been your big brass butler detective, Nathan Blades, this evening. You can find me on the Campaign Skyjacks podcast as Captain Oromar Vale. We are going through a very, very dramatic story arc at the moment, so now is an excellent time to join if you want maximum emotional turmoil in your life. You can also catch me on Twitch at The Neon Caster, where we stream a wide variety of tabletop RPGs and also just general poker tubing nonsense. And if you would like to go and play any of the games that I have written, you can find my games at sixofspades.itch.io. Please do check my games out. They are very good, please and thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here in chat. If you've enjoyed the happy hour today, please give us a follow at Manapot. We do lots of streams, both in European time zones as well as in East Coast American time zones. So you can check our calendar at the link below. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see what I'm up to at Crifu Bernal. I'll be back here on Monday with another episode of Space Flicks and Kill, our Starfinder Society TTRPG show. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks for the next EU Happy Hour. We're doing a two-session flight run by the Maori nerd, who will be taking us through 1980s New Zealand in a Tales from the Loop game. So, yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Spicy!
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night and a very good weekend. We'll see you next time.
Catch you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye! See ya!